Good morning, everybody. It's another episode of Intellectually Honest, unedited, uncut. We're going to get right into it. So, I saw the game last night. I've been keeping up with these playoffs. And, I got some takeaways from it. First takeaway from it, let's get right into it. What's going on with Ben Simmons, man? It's like the story. It's like I feel like it's like a classic tale of sorts. To whom much is given, much is tested, kind of thing. Lonzo Ball came into the league, or rather, Ben Simmons came into the league to almost like instant praise. They're saying, oh, if he just got a jump shot, he'd be another LeBron. He came into the league with love, with people. They say it didn't matter if he could shoot or not, because he's Ben Simmons, and he can do so much more. It didn't matter that he was afraid to go to the free throw line, and when he did go, he didn't deliver, because he could do so much more. You don't understand what Ben Simmons does. That's what his team, that's what his organization always say. Y'all don't understand what Ben Simmons gives us on the court. And if you think we should take Ben Simmons out the game, then you don't know coaching and you don't know basketball. That's how hard the 76ers was riding for Ben Simmons. He could, he won Rookie of the Year in a year that he wasn't even a rookie. Donovan Mitchell should have got Rookie of the Year. The same issues that Ben Simmons is, they gave him Rookie of the Year off of potential. Donovan Mitchell took out Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George without his point guard. Like, Ben Simmons' point guard, Ricky Rubio, got hurt. The veteran floor general got hurt. He didn't even play in that game. Donovan Mitchell took out 3 future Hall of Famers his rookie year. And Ben Simmons got Rookie of the Year based off of his potential, because despite the fact that he couldn't shoot, despite the fact that he was afraid to go to the free throw line, they gave it to him off of his potential, because he did so much more on the court. And now you fast forward 5 years in, and what are we doing? What is he doing? And keep in mind, I'm not a Ben Simmons hater. I actually like Ben Simmons. I love facilitators. Those are I love those. My favorite player of all time is Rondo. Ben Simmons is like a 6'10" Rondo. But you know what made Rondo different than Ben Simmons? Me and my brother was watching the game last night, and I was like, he's allowing them to play to his weakness. Like, he's allowing the Hawks to take advantage of his one weakness. Well, now I know that he has 2 weaknesses. The second weakness being mental. He's allowing them to take advantage of the one thing he can't do well skill-wise. Rondo couldn't shoot back in his Celtics days. But Rondo would come up and get right in the teeth of the D. And because he had that float, he had one of the nicest floaters in the game at the time. He was one of the best finishers around the rim at the time. And his head was always on a swivel looking for his teammates. When he got into the teeth of the D, they had to respect it. They had to come up and contain him, which left Ray Allen open, which left Paul Pierce open, which left Eddie House, James Posey, and them guys open. Ben Simmons allowed them. Whenever he comes, and I was telling my brother, like, the more he settles for like just floating around the perimeter, like, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you out there. Like, oh, Ben Simmons is at the 3-point line. Like no. But if you got the ball and you got around free throw line area and you operated in there with the ball in your hand, they'd be like, yo, whose man is that? How y'all let Ben Simmons get that deep? But that's what I mean. His mental. That's his second weakness. His mental. When I saw it, and I knew that was the case when he passed up that open dunk, I was like, whoa. And that's when I was like, man, that's something. Now let's flip the switch a little bit. Because Lonzo Ball and Ben Simmons are very similar. Because the same thing you said about Ben Simmons, you could also say about Lonzo Ball. But they didn't want to say it. They didn't want to say that, man, the only thing this dude is missing is a consistent jumper. They didn't want to say that. The same excuses that they gave and still give up until probably last night to Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball wasn't allotted that same leeway. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo Ball, because if you be the man averaged 10, 7, and 7 as a rookie. He averaged more rebounds and assists than LeBron James did his rookie year. But nobody was talking about that. All they was talking about was, man, this dude can't shoot. And they convinced us that he was trash because of that. You know, this guy's 6'6". He's not a little guy. Like he's not Ben Simmons size, but you got a 6'6" guy who does everything: defense, rebounding, assists, pushing the pace, like everything else except hit the jump shot. But you don't give him the same leeway that you gave Ben Simmons. And the reason is clear. I mean, because his last name is Ball, and his dad talks a lot of shit. But if we talking about a basketball, if we can keep our emotions in check, and you just talking about basketball, I don't think anybody should be surprised that Lonzo Ball is on the up. His trajectory is on the up and up. You really shouldn't, because he could shoot though. He shot the ball well in college. You see what I'm saying? Ben Simmons at no level showed that he could even shoot. Lonzo Ball, they were wondering what happened to his shot. Why is it not dropping? Ben Simmons, they were wondering if he could develop a shot at all. And he still got more leeway than Zoe. So now fast forward to 2021. And Lonzo Ball stock just keeps rising. His stock was already high because of the Pelican situation, because, you know, now everybody's coming out saying they hate Stan Van Gundy, they hate the organization. Not in those words, but you know what I mean. And now Ben Simmons on the big stage against the Atlanta Hawks choked, and he showed why he's Ben Simmons' stock dropping has caused, because now it's becoming more and more glaringly obvious that, well, shoot, if he could just shoot, he'd be a beast. He'd have a whole nother dimension to his game. He'd be unguardable. He'd be Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? So Lonzo Ball stock just keeps rising. That's all I'm gonna say about that. What do y'all think is next for them guys, man? I know like a year or so ago, a couple years back actually, I think they were saying that you might have to get rid of one of them, which I still think you do. But I think the issues with Ben Simmons run deeper than what he's able to do skill wise. I think his mind just in his mind, he's a 5'11", pass first point guard. That's why when he saw Trae Young coming, when he got the ball open for that dunk and he saw Trae Young coming, in his mind, Trae Young was giant. 6'1" looks tall to a 5'11" point guard. So that's why he had to pass it out. Physically, he could have just dumped it. But, But one thing about, like I said, one thing that highlighted about Lonzo Ball, the fact that we're 5 years into Ben Simmons' career and we're still asking the same questions, highlights Lonzo Ball, because we're not asking that question no more. The only question now is, can he be a star? They're not asking if he can shoot. Stephen A. Smith is, because he's uninformed, but we're not asking if Lonzo Ball can shoot. We're not asking about his work ethic. His man changed his shot in a year. Bro, like, last year was his first year with the Pelicans. And he shot 37% from three, 37.5% from three last year. Not this past season, but the season with the last year and stuff. When they first got Gentry and them guys. I mean, when they still had Gentry. So this didn't just happen. This man averaged 14, 6, and 6 as an off-ball guard. Like, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave that topic. I'm gonna move on to my next. That's my takeaway from that game. My takeaway from the playoffs as a whole is I think Giannis and I think the Bucks have just won the championship. With all the juggernauts gone, with the Nets was the biggest juggernaut left, because when Kawhi Leonard went down, the Clippers kind of became beatable. At that point, they were already kind of beatable, but they, if Kawhi doesn't come back, then they don't have anything for the Bucks. I don't think the Hawks have anything for the Bucks, because Giannis can't shoot either. But unlike Ben Simmons, Giannis is gonna attack. Giannis is gonna make you know what he's out there to do. He let KD and them guys know what he was there for. He dropped 40 on them. Shout out to him. So I think Greek Freak and them, I think they just won their first championship. Just looking at the outlook of the playoffs, I think that it's them. They're gonna go, and it'll be a great story. He didn't take the easy way out, so to speak. He didn't join up with all the other great players of his era. He went through KD. You know what I'm saying? He went through Jason Tatum. As much as it hurts me, it's my Celtics. And now he's about to go through Trae Young. And then in the finals, he'll go through Paul George or Devin Booker. So, shout out to him. That's my prediction. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about all of this. Lonzo Ball, is his stock rising? Is it time to admit that Ben Simmons may be a poor man's Lonzo Ball? Let me know down in the comments. This has been another episode of Intellectually Honest, unedited, uncut. Like, comment, subscribe.